To set up the transformation log, go to Setup, Clients, Transformation Log. Within this page, we have all the measurements that can be tracked, such as arms, bust, waist, abdomen, hips, etc. So here, if we want it to be enabled so that tracking is there for our staff and our clients, on the right-hand side, we have to make sure that the toggle is turned on. So the ones that are turned off, you'll notice that then the measurement area is grayed out. Here we have additional information, whether this field is private or not. Similarly to our edit field section, private will mean that only staff is able to see this field and only staff can fill this in. So in this case, if we want the staff to be able to see it and we also want the clients to be able to see it online when they log into the client web app or through the Achieve app, we can then turn this off to make sure that it's not private. So I can turn it off for all of them because I want the clients to see it. Okay. So once that's done, it's no longer private, meaning that the clients will be able to see this field. Moreover, to the right, we have required by staff, required by clients. Same thing as edit fields. If it is mandatory either for the client to fill in that stat or it's mandatory for that stat to fill in that stat, we can go ahead and enable it. And if it's not mandatory for anybody, it's just more of like an optional thing, we can leave it as off. To the right-hand side of that, we have the little gear icon, which is our setup option. So once that's turned on, that gear option will come up. So let's say, for example, we go into the waist, we click on the little gear icon. It lets us customize this specific measurement a little bit further. I can determine what kind of field type it is. Is it a decimal number? Is it a whole number? How are we tracking this? So maybe I want it to be decimal, so we can turn that. And the measurement unit, if it's applicable to that specific statistic, then we can go ahead and set up the different measurement units, right? Are we measuring in centimeters, feet, inches, whatever it may be? We can switch it over and save it. And that's updated for the waist measurement. So you can do that for the other ones if applicable. Scrolling all the way to the bottom, there are two fields here, custom field 1 and custom field 2. These are additional fields that maybe the customer wants to set up so that their clients can fill in these information. Maybe it could be maybe food tracking. Maybe we want the clients to be able to log into their account, track their food for us so we can see. I can go ahead and make it public. Go to the little gear icon to edit this, and I can edit the field name. Maybe it's food tracking. Okay, and then the field that we only have is just text. Just a text form. They can type in whatever they want, save it. So we have two fields that we can customize on the very bottom. And once that's all done, we can go ahead and take a look at the very top. We have three options. Do we require a transformation log update? If we do, and if we turn it on, we have to determine what the frequency of the update is. Maybe we need to have this updated once a week. We can set this up so that once a week hits, it's going to go ahead and remind the staff or remind the client that they have to update this. Okay, and over here, if there's a requirement how many days prior that it must be entered, we can turn this on. Updates can be entered maybe 1 day prior to this date, or maybe 2 days prior. So we can set that up. Okay, coming down, whether we want to allow our clients to update the measurements. So let's say, for example, we don't want the clients to update it because they may measure incorrectly, right? Maybe we only want just the staff to be able to measure and input the numbers. We can leave this off. So what that means is the clients can see these stats online because we've turned it as public, but they will not be able to touch their own numbers. If we do turn this on, however, we have a second option that requires staff verification. So every time they put a statistic in, we want the staff to be able to verify before it's confirmed and put into the system. So that's an additional option. If clients can update measurements, it's enabled. Okay. And once that's all done, we can go ahead and click on the save button on the bottom right.